Hello. Hi.
What up?
Welcome to a beautiful evening post Christmas of unscripted gaming. And we're going to
Woo!
actually talk about gaming.
Whoa. Really?
Man. Yeah, it's over. We were in a weird era there for a little bit.
I
It's gone. It's behind us.
was
Uh
I was having a good time.
I'm going to take a sip of some delicious ice water. This is an inside joke. It's not it
Wow.
mm,
Wow, really? Hey,
oh
I
man.
I have some too right here in this nice lttstore.com water bottle. So,
You
it's
know, he got in trouble again because have you heard of the? We'll just jump right into some stupid news. Have you heard of the honey scam that has been outed on the internet for a little bit, about a week now?
I saw some stuff about it. I mean, I have honey on my computer. I've
You
used it before.
uninstall it.
I, I mean, I between that and Rakuten, like I get money back. I find coupon codes.
Mhm.
You know, you mean a big internet company that advertised on a lot of influencers might not have been 100% legit?
Well, it's not just that it's not 100. It's not just it's not 100% legit. Like part. So there's this video by Hold on, I'm gonna actually like get their name correct. Uh Hold on a sec. Mega Lag. MEGA, capital LAG. I don't think you need to
Mega
capitalize it.
lag.
Anyways, 10 million views. I've watched it myself. Um, and also the Vlog Brothers, Hank Green has also done a video in response to it. Because he also was an affiliate, I think, very briefly of Honey.
Yeah.
The long and short of it is that Honey, yeah, it's a plugin that you install into your browser, and it's supposed to go ahead and find you deals and coupons and save you money. When in reality, like Honey is just like talking to the companies on the side and saying like, "Hey, will you put out some coupons out there and you just give us a little kickback whenever we see one of our users use your coupon?" And the company's like, yeah, of course. Now, of course, the affiliates are like, well, maybe we'll get a little kickback if we go ahead and advertise this. And even Linus's crew of Linus Tech Tips, they actually broke off with Honey because it was found out that Honey actually does not give commissions. What they do is they just steal the commissions and actually put it back in their pocket. It's a whole thing. I'm not gonna like digest a very well done investigative 23-minute video, try to regurgitate it or steal content. Go watch it. It's pretty good. It's called
Yeah.
Exposing the Honey Influencer Scam. And it absolutely is like a scam by ethical means. Legal means, I don't know. Definitely by ethical means. And yeah, if you use Honey, you're basic you're not getting what you think you're getting, I guess is the long and short of it, is if you use Honey. But Markiplier was actually the first one. Markiplier has never actually used Honey. I saw this video of Markiplier saying, "Yeah, I've always thought that they were kind of shady. I never made a deal with them." And his prediction was, he said, "I bet in 2022 there's gonna be something called the Great Honey Scam." Finally revealed. He was off by a couple years, but
But hey, I
the
mean,
Freddy Fazbear jump scare man caught it.
hey, when you're right, you're right.
Sometimes he's got it. Anyways, yeah, that's Honey. We don't have to belabor on that for a bit. Hey, how you been doing? What games you playing?
Hey, I've been playing a little bit of Balatro here and there still. A little bit of Helldivers, diving into the new faction that was added to the game a couple weeks ago. That is somehow more difficult than the automaton bots, but also more fun to fight. Even though like when you're playing Helldivers, sometimes there are moments where you're like, all right, we had a good couple of minutes there. Things got a little dicey, but we got some breathing room. Yeah, with the squids, there is never
Oh my god.
there is never breathing room, and you know that's been a good. And I've been playing this little game called Overwatch 2. I mean, Marvel Rivals.
Ah, yeah. So first of all, the Helldivers are called the Illuminate. The squids are the slur for them,
Yeah.
which I keep mentioning whenever I play with Josh. You're a little too happy to be
Hey,
calling them a slur.
it is canon, it is in game. They're literally calling out squids here, and I'm just like, oh, okay, we're having a good time.
I guess it's a kind of a slur to call like the automatons bots, but look at them. They're robots.
They are
They're
robots, yeah.
I think they're androids, but you could have fooled me.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, the worst
yeah,
part about the robots is they're fucking communists, but you know, hey, that's
Are they? I thought they were socialists. No, wait. I forget which one.
6
They
of
might
one,
be
half a
socialist.
dozen of the other.
Sure. So you were mentioning Marvel Rivals, the
Indeed.
game with the I have a conspiracy theory that some friend made up, and I'm kind of sharing it. This is Disney's subversive way to tap into the lucrative porn market. But they see that the Overwatch models are just they're eating good right now. They're like, that's it. No. Someone at the House of Mouse slammed their fist on the table and said, "You get them in there. I want Black Widow in there, and whatever ass you think you're gonna give her, 3 times bigger."
All the heroes are caked, but on
All of
both sides. There is the proportions are wild in the game.
They're a little crazy. I mean, sometimes they're like cartoonishly crazy. Like Punisher has his arms are bigger than his torso, like wider than
Yeah.
his torso, which
Yeah.
looks ridiculous on him. Like he's the Punisher's a human.
Yeah,
Why does he look like that?
And Wolverine too, like, boy, I didn't realize there was that much adamantium in the world to fill those bones. Like,
right, you know, they gave him also like giant arms and like a very tiny head.
like it looks like the head is too, like, you know, not just too small for the body, but just like too small in general. Like, it's kind of weird.
It is odd that they went with like the Rob Liefeld version. Some people will get this, the Rob Liefeld version of drawing these characters. For some of the characters it works fine. Like I have no issues with how like Iron Man or Captain America look. I think those are great models. Of course they looked at Spider-Man and they did him right. You're not allowed to screw up Spider-Man anymore. It's done. It's over. Anytime Spider-Man's in a video game, he better rep, and he better rep good. I hate the voice acting for some of the characters in Marvel Rivals. Well, let's actually talk about Marvel Rivals. Josh, what is Marvel Rivals?
So, I mean, at the end, Marvel Rivals is a free-to-play hero shooter, a la Overwatch.
It's just Overwatch.
It is really just Overwatch. Like, for the most part, when you're playing the game, all the heroes have a pretty correlation to at least one, if not, you know, a slight mix of Overwatch characters. Like, it's very easy to like play somebody and be like, oh, this is so and so. Like, that is, you know, in the first few weeks of playing or the first few days of playing, like every time you're trying a new character, like, oh, this is so and so. Yeah, it's very much in that. It is definitely a slower paced game, and it is a 6v6 like Overwatch 1 rather than the updated Overwatch 2, which is now 5v5. But
Did they switch it back? Now is it like Overwatch Classic or whatever?
I don't know. I don't remember. So I will say, like, for me, you know, we'll kind of get into this more. I did download Overwatch because of my first experience with Marvel Rivals, and I played for a little bit and had a very good time. But I don't remember if the Overwatch branding was 2 or Classic or whatnot. But it's, you know, it's a slower paced game, and it, to me, again, it scratches an itch, but you always know you're not playing, like, you know, it's like it's getting the store brand version and being like, I mean, this is close, but like it's like just enough off that you're aware of it the entire time. You're not disliking it, but you know it's not the real thing. You
Sometimes
know you're having a Dr. Thunder when you would really rather be having a Dr. Pepper.
I hear you. I hear you. If I could defend a store brand for a moment, you shop at Aldi's. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You ever get the Aldi brand version of Pringles called Stackers?
I haven't, but
You need to try those. Let me tell you, we're gonna diverge for a little bit. Stackers are better than Pringles. That's all I've been saying. I've been
wow.
saying this for years now.
Hey,
Every time I'm at Aldi's, I gotta get myself a tube.
hey, for me, Honey Nut Cheerios, I like most store brand versions of Honey Nut Cheerios better than the original Honey Nut Cheerios. So
Really?
call me crazy. Especially there's the Kroger bagged version. My favorite Honey Nut Cheerios out there.
I know we're on breakfast talk right now, so give me just a moment. Listen, I haven't gotten like the big bag cereal that you get at Kroger's. You know what I'm talking about in the bins. We all have been there. Don't act like you're too good for bag cereal.
Oh.
People out there listening, unsubscribe if you think you're too good for bag cereal. I have we've been eating granola and oatmeal a lot lately, and it's really hard to screw up oatmeal. Can we get that out of the way? Some places will do it, but it's really hard to just screw that up. But I know what you're talking about. Where like the store off-brand version, we'll get back to the game in a second. Just tastes a little bit different. There's this rumor that it's all made in the same factory or whatever, and the store off-brand version is like the unquality cut. That doesn't make the inspection. I don't know if that's true or not. I think the manufacturing process seems like way too wild.
It's
Sorry, you're gonna say something.
no, I was gonna say it is product dependent, and yes, there are some versions where you have the name brand and the store brand made in the same facility with just like slightly different ingredients or different quality of ingredients. It's never one like, oh, we're not passing QC, but we're gonna do this version here. So, but there are some where there are separate facilities for some of those production lines. So it's a mix.
Unlike Marvel, I'm gonna be more insulting for just a minute here. I'm gonna call Marvel Rivals the let me make sure I get this name of this cereal right. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm gonna call Marvel Rivals, where the store brand is Captain Crunch. Marvel Rivals is the King Vitamin of
Wow.
cereal.
Dang.
We're in that King Vitamin is inarguably healthier for you to eat, but tastes so much worse. And I say this so much worse. Marvel Rivals is a slightly better game than Overwatch. Now that I've played enough Marvel Rivals to get a feel for it, it is a better built game.
Why do you say that?
It doesn't assault you as much with loot boxes. So ethically already,
there are no more loot boxes in Overwatch.
They don't do that anymore?
Nope.
Did they stop?
They did stop.
What did they do instead of loot
boxes? That was part of the switch to Overwatch 2. They got rid of loot boxes. It's like not a thing anymore.
Is that true?
I think so.
I
didn't encounter. I didn't see anywhere where I could buy them or whatnot. I think it was just like if you wanted the skin, you just bought it straight up.
You just bought it with just money right then and there.
Yeah, I think so, or whatever currency. So
maybe that was part of the deal to operate in some countries because a lot more countries are cracking down on it.
Yeah, I do think so.
Okay, so I will say, you know what? I'm not going to let that slide. They already, before they got rid of it, they made literally billions of dollars off of it. So I can't look past that. Marvel Rivals could have loaded up with loot boxes. They didn't. The game does, even though it like rips off the user interface, the key bindings, the commands, the win and loss screens, the highlights, it like rips it all off. Pretty much in general, between Overwatch.
Yeah.
But all of the characters in Marvel Rivals have a lot more depth to them than in Overwatch. and it actually makes the characters kind of more interesting to kind of learn with. So, an example: when you're playing as Venom, uh, a normal tank character in Overwatch, you have like maybe 4 different commands that you're gonna do, maximum, maybe 5. A specialized character will have like 5. Venom is okay. Not only can Venom, just because he's one of the tanks I played recently, he has a normal attack. He has just a buff that just makes him very difficult to kill. He, of course, has his ult. You could put that from the corner. Everyone has their ult. He can crawl on walls. He could run on walls, which is a different option. He could swing. That's a completely separate power up. He has a slowdown attack, and he can jump from mid-air and splash down on top of the enemies. So that's a lot of items in your kit. That's just for tanking. That's a lot for a tank to really think about. So when you're getting attacked by a Venom, you have to think about all the different options in his kit. And it's not just like 3 different things. Like if you're fighting against a Reinhardt, you know the 3 different things Reinhardt's gonna do. He's gonna put up a shield, he's gonna try to swing his hammer, or he'll do his one little that little burst attack he does. But after that, you're watching for the charge. You're waiting for the Reinhardt to charge at you. Other than that, the Venom, you have a lot of different things that you're trying to watch out for, up to and including the fact that he might swing up and then splash down on you. And that's just as an example. And I think that sort of care given to all the characters, especially for the fact that they're all different superhero characters, they're all trying to take this property and try to crunch it into a game. It might make it a better game experience for people, and I think that's why it's been extremely popular. But to your point, much like King Vitamin, just because it's better doesn't mean it tastes better. I think the fact that Overwatch has completely unique characters and the fact that it's more simplified does ultimately make it a lot more fun to play. Like I'm not going back to Overwatch. Let me put this out there. I'm done with that game. I spent my several dozen hours playing with it. I uninstalled it. It's over. If I was to uninstall Marvel Rivals right now, I wouldn't miss it. I would just say, yeah, I got my 10 hours. I think into that. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Because nothing on that game, it's free to play. Nothing in that game is for sale except for like skins and like sorry, titles and whatnot.
Yeah.
What's keeping me going back to play it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it is definitely the inertia of just having other folks who are interested in playing it. It's scratching an itch again. In our circle of friends, we've definitely talked about missing Overwatch style games there for a little bit. And again, this is scratching that itch to a certain degree, and I am having a good time. I've put about almost 20 hours. I think I'm about like 18, 19 hours right now into the game. And I enjoy it. I'm having a good time. I found my main. I MVP quite often. But yeah, if like the zeitgeist moved on from it and I uninstalled it, like I would be okay. Like I don't think I would have the yearning for it like I do for Overwatch. Like, again, day one I played Marvel Rivals, I closed the game. Afterwards, I'm like, I think it's time to re-download Overwatch, and I played a couple of matches the next day, and I was like, man, this game still slaps. But Rivals being new, still playing that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I do see what you're saying about the depth. I do think, though, that Marvel Rivals is going to have a problem where they are going to experience a hero bloat. I do think that they should consider, swapping characters out and not letting the roster, get much larger than it is, or even if they
really
add,
you think they need to decrease the amount of characters that they have?
I don't know that I would necessarily say like right now they need to decrease it. I mean, there are a lot of heroes that even right now just aren't getting used for one reason or another, or you don't see that often.
Maybe Magneto should be playable. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I've seen I could probably count on the number on one hand the number of times I've seen an Adam Warlock being used like by
Once.
somebody.
I've only ever seen Adam Warlock played once, and you were there for that. And to
Yeah.
their credit, they beat our ass. Like we were raffle stomped,
Yeah,
if I may
100.
use an old term.
But I do think that where they're at and with the just sheer volume of potential heroes and villains you could add, it would be very easy to hit a point where you have a bunch of characters that are basically, you know, reskins of each other, or they're only different in one way, and it's just. But also, as I'm sitting here like, oh, they should rotate heroes and whatnot. But I'm like, if they took my main, I'd be fucking pissed. So
Like Penny.
yeah,
Actually.
if they're like, hey, Penny's gonna take a break for a little bit and go back to Japan for 6 weeks, I'm like, all right, well, I'm uninstalling the game for 6 weeks. So see you later.
I think I'm gonna steal a term from Jeff Gershman, and I do think this is the proper way to, when it comes to like, as long as you don't give a damn about the competitive scene, and I really think in these types of games you should not give a damn about the competitive scene.
Yeah.
Like, make it as competitive as you want, but don't take it too seriously. Don't try to force what Overwatch did. Don't try to force a giant esports league out of it. That didn't work for a variety of reasons. BT Dubs, go read the book "Play Nice" by Jason Schreier. He talks about how that imploded on itself. You should do, and this is the thing Jeff Gershman recommended. Just never nerf, always buff. So in the case of adding characters, do not strip away characters just to add more. Just keep adding more. Take the Smash Brothers approach. Just keep adding more characters until you hit what you believe is the game's maximum limit, and then just like say, hey, we're just gonna add modes, we're just gonna add maps, and make bang from there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a way of it was his frustration, and I actually do kind of agree with it, with like balancing fighting games. You should never nerf a character, because once you've nerfed that character, you have taken away that character from the meta in like a very specific and important way. If you just buff weaker characters, you've added those characters to the meta, as opposed to hoping that nerfing a character will make a ship rise. That's not typically how that works. Example, Ganondorf in Smash Ultimate. I'm so sorry. Mike's not here with us right now. He is with family, but Mike's favorite character in Smash Ultimate and in other Smash games is Ganondorf, and he got nerfed into the ground, and the other characters just got buffs here and everywhere. And now, you go to Smash event hubs, you look up Ganondorf. He's literally the worst character that you can play as. He was probably destined to be the worst character for like a variety of reasons, but imagine if Penny Parker just kept getting nerfs.
I would be so mad.
They start saying, you know what, she's winning too much.
I will say, like, I'm literally, as I'm playing her, I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy the golden age while I can, because there's no way they're not gonna nerf her. I'm like, there's no way I'm this good. Like, I mean, I'm good at video games, but like, I'm not like 3 MVPs in a row good. Like, or
no.
maybe their MMR system in the background isn't matching skills up well. But I'm like, man, they're gonna nerf the fuck out of her, and I'm gonna be so mad.
But imagine how you would feel if other characters just got buffed, but they never touched Penny Parker. You would just say like, "Oh, well, it's on me now."
Yeah, my skill I have to hit those skill shots every time. I can't miss.
Yeah. So I do agree with that sort of like game balancing. I've been trying to incorporate it a little bit.
And I do see what you're saying too.
That.
Because like if like for me, I'm like, if they mess with like the timings, if they said, hey, instead of 4-second cooldown, it's a 6-second cooldown. Like, you already have that muscle memory built in, and when you're clicking the right trigger expecting something to happen and you're not, like, it really throws you off. So I can see the argument for that.
The only time you should readjust this line of thinking is if you're playing like a looter shooter or something like that, and someone adds a gun. And I'm specifically talking about something like the Vex Mythlo cast. This is a long story. I won't get into it. But if you add a gun which actually just breaks your game, yes, you can immediately nerf that into the damn ground. You made a mistake.
I mean, what if
Also,
you
you
just
should talk to your game designers and economy designers because they were asleep at the wheel.
you don't want to get mytho clapped?
I never again. Never. I was there. I was there.
I
when it
was.
was
I
added
don't
to
think
the
I was
game.
active during those eras, so I did not get to see the
It was late
the
2014
horror.
and 2015. I think the worst part of it was the people at my work that were defending it. And then when it got like a 33% nerf across the board, it was like, yep, good. Anyways, yeah, you got anything else to say about Marvel Rivals?
No, I mean it's
I'm enjoying it.
yeah. I'm having a good time. I
We're
am
probably gonna play it here again.
yeah. Once we're done recording, I mean, I'll probably cut the podcast real quick and fire it up. So it's not a bad game. I'm enjoying it.
It's a good video
It's a
game.
pretty good video game.
It's not in my 2024 pick for the year.
It's
Not even close.
It is. It's a journeyman video game. You know, it gets the job
Ooh.
done. It's very
Ooh.
solid, but like, it is not going to like. It's not doing anything groundbreaking. It is not going to change the landscape. It is filling a niche. We'll probably eventually fall off of it, come back to it every so often because you hear something in the news, but like it is not going to be a game that is like breaking anything, fundamentally and doing something new. It's
Happier?
It's good. It is what it is.
I'm happier when we return to Helldivers 2 because I still think that's a great time.
Yep.
But when we play Marvel Rivals, like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
This is fine. This is all right.
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
It's like drinking a. I'm not trying to introduce the Battle of the Bevs again, but I'm trying to think. It's like drinking. You're kind of peckish, and it's drinking a warm cup of green tea. You're like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
This is fine. This is relaxing. I am enjoying this. This goes great with the meal that I'm eating right now. Is it anything I wanted?
Take it or leave it.
Yeah. All right. So if you want to hear more about cereal and tea, Josh, where can you find this information?
You can find it at unscriptedgaming.com. That's where you can find links to all of our lovely shows, our various podcasts that we do. Also, if you have opinions on beverages or breakfast cereal, please send those to mailbag at unscriptedgaming.com. Join the conversation. If you want to also get us on Facebook, we're at Facebook Unscripted Game Podcast. We're on X, the everything at unscript_gaming. We're on soundcloud.com/unscripted-gaming for all the audio versions of our podcast. We're on all the podcatchers. You can catch the video version of is on YouTube. Thank you for listening to Unscripted Gaming. My name is Josh.
My name is Ray.
Peace.